Next Skills has the ability to teach the basic skill that employers require, but also to front load you with some of the advanced skills you're going to need, like emotional intelligence. That's important because as you advance into a lead position or a supervisory position, it becomes imperative that you begin leveraging those advanced skills. And Next Skills at least gives you an exposure to that. So it's a huge win for employers to gain employees that have that certification.
With our Next Skills Institute program, we're addressing the soft skills and employability skills gaps that employers have complained about.
Next Skill embodies for the employer really is a jumping off point for further development.
A lot of decision making, problem solving, collaborating with other people. And there's a lot of conflict management woven through.
Then after we talk about the conflict resolution styles, maybe introduce these scenarios again and say, now that you know about conflict resolution, how would you do things differently?
Not only communicating, but understanding why people are acting differently or talking about things, valuing things differently, working differently.
And I tell my story from my viewpoint, you tell yours, we have to listen. We have to respect, eventually come to consensus. Ideally, we're able to be our own negotiator with the other person and compromiser. So these are the steps. Choose your attitude, tell your story, listen.
Multiculturalism, a multicultural society is about inclusion. Because in most societies you have these different cultures who are not necessarily aligned and given equal weight.
We could start the discussion of culture and multiculturalism by talking about generation. How does the older generation, how do you think older folks view your generation? And then switch it, how do you view the older generation?
Because when participants ask questions about themselves, what they're looking for is your experience as well. It's like, how did you come to grips with these ideas? What does tolerance mean to you? How have you been treated? Does your organization treat you well, even though you're different?
A lot of people miss this disability, the disability that maybe it's a learning disability, an emotional disturbance.
When you're going out looking for a job, what is the thing that we spend most of our time talking about?
The interview.
The interview, what else?
Job application.
Job application, appearance, what else? So when it finally started to settle in and all the paperwork, how'd you feel?
Overwhelmed.
What's that?
Clueless.
Clueless?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, what else? What else went down in your mind? Alone. We're gonna illuminate for students what's really gonna happen. Because we've all been in that place where we were just shocked. Remember all the papers you had to fill out? So emotional quotient is in part the self-awareness that you need to manage to self-regulate, and also the skill you need to interact with others and to become sensitive to their needs. The word empathy comes up quite a bit. It's how you relate to others.
I think we all have a basic personality, but as we mature and experience more in life, we learn how to cope with behaviors or abilities that we aren't as comfortable with, and then it's situational.
Because after you get done revealing to them what emotional quotient is and kind of how what the role is of emotional quotient in an organization and why we measure it, what's going to impact them is this idea that it's going to probably be a lot of things that they're not. Why is it important for them to understand that their computing device is actually on a network and what the connectivity is?
How do computers work, or how do networks work, and there's a diagram on there of how the computer works. You can show that to your students. How to create and manage your files on the network.
Let's talk about email.
How to set up an email account is the last part of this section, and then everything in between there.
Again, we have policies that we have to be aware of, and around computing systems,
we do have some of those policies. What are some of those policies?
Using Facebook or some of the allowed items, professionalism. So.
It's comprehensive, it's complete, it gives me something that I can translate into what my students' needs are.
Any employer who either hires an intern or an employee with these skills is going to benefit. The key though to Next Skills is to have everyone engaged and practicing and applying what they're learning and reinforcing it so that they've not only learned it once, but they've learned it and practiced it and applied it and reinforced it many, many times. So by the time they're done, they get a certificate that bullets on the back all the skills they come away with, and whoever looks at that, an employer, a potential employer, can be confident that they really do have those skills.
And know that you can do too.